It was an early morning mist rising off the lake when I received the text that sent a chill through my spine. Your lake house is being entered under HOA order. The ping came from my neighbor, visible on the live feed of my remote security cameras. My heart hammered as I logged in to watch the unthinkable. Karen Malone, our corpulent, self-appointed HOA president, strode through my gated courtyard, muttering about non-compliance with lakeside decibel ordinance, flanked by two identical men in dark uniforms bearing HOA patches. My lifelong retreat on the lake, where I sought serenity, was under siege. They pried open the lock, stepped inside, and began shouting at empty rooms. As the sun broke the horizon, glinting on her sweat-stained blouse, I realized this was no minor trespass. It was a brazen invasion of my private sanctuary. The scene felt like a breach of sacred ground, but I refused to let her arrogance stand. Tonight, I would demand justice, armed with irrefutable truth. My first move was urgent. I contacted my attorney, Sam Jenkins, and instructed him to initiate emergency proceedings. Next, I scrolled through my phone to the security footage, a meticulously time-stamped record from every camera in the house. By mid-morning, I sat in the polished oak of the county courtroom, Jenkins at my side, as Judge Harrington peered over thinning spectacles. Opposite us sat Karen and her HOA enforcers, clutching a sheaf of unsigned right of entry notices that Jenkins had already declared invalid. The judge's gavel tapped the bench, and the hearing began. With measured calm, Jenkins stated, "Your Honor, we will play the unedited CCTV recordings to illustrate the clear trespass and intimidation carried out by the HOA president and her agents." As the footage flickered on the large screen doors pried, rooms rifled, Karen's triumphant sneer, we witnessed the shocking truth. Their inspection was nothing more than an act of bullying disguised as authority. The first twist struck. Technology's impartial eye exposing entitlement's grotesque abuse. Karen rose to object, sputtering that her orders were lawful under Section 4.7 of the HOA covenants. Jenkins smiled. "With all due respect, Ms. Malone, Section 4.7 pertains to common areas. Your property misinterpretation cannot justify private residential entry without consent or warrant." The judge nodded sharply and asked to see the footage again. This time zoomed on her badge's stamp date, revealing it as a plastic facsimile rather than an official seal. The courtroom gasped as the second twist unfolded. The revelation that not only had she trespassed, but she had falsified authority. Her two enforcers recoiled at her deception, their clipboards dropping in shame. The climax surged when Judge Harrington leaned forward and asked Karen one simple question. "On what legal basis did you enter Mr. Thompson's residence without notice or consent?" Silence filled the room as Karen stammered. Then Jenkins pressed play on the audio track. I had captured her backwards whisper to the enforcers. "Get in Quicklino cameras." The judge's expression hardened, and with a firm gavel strike, he ordered Karen to produce any warrant or recorded HOA vote authorizing the break-in. She could not. The judge declared their actions illegal trespass and coercion, enjoined the HOA from any further entry, and levied sanctions for her misuse of office. In that electric moment, one question, one judge, one replay of damning evidence, Karen's power collapsed. Enraptured, neighbors streamed into the courtroom lobby, murmuring relief and outrage. Many recounted their own brushes with Karen's petty decrees, fining them for holiday lights left on too long or mandating absurd siding colors. Now, under the watchful gaze of justice, they felt emboldened to reclaim their rights. That evening, we gathered on my veranda, glasses of iced tea raised in solidarity. I looked at the lake's shimmering surface and felt our community's rebirth. But the story was not over. Karen would face further hearings for defamation, and the HOA bylaws would undergo an unprecedented overhaul with every resident's voice at the microphone. As twilight deepened, I typed the final lines of my Reddit post. From forced entry to courtroom clarity, house security cameras, and a judge's question stopped HOA tyranny at my lake house. Was streaming justice too harsh, or the only way to defend our homes? Share your thoughts on right and wrong below. By the time I hit post, the first stars floated overhead, and a sense of rightful peace settled over the house once again. Morning light filtered through the courtroom's stained glass windows as Judge Harrington finalized his ruling. Karen Malone's fines were reversed, her authority curtailed, and the HOA was ordered to compensate me for damages, legal fees, and emotional distress. Yet, among the neighbors present, the prevailing sentiment was greater than restitution. It was a reclamation of their collective dignity. In the days that followed, the HOA Bordianis, a retired school principal, and Eliza, a local architect, worked with residents to draft the Residents' Protection Charter. The charter enshrined clear limitations on HOA power. Unannounced entries were prohibited, wrongful issuance of citations carried penalties, and an independent resident review panel was established. Karen, stripped of her presidency, attempted to appeal but faced mounting legal costs and public disdain. A final twist emerged when her own sister, Tiffany, addressed the review panel. Tiffany revealed Karen's deep insecurity and yearning for recognition, the personal motivations that fueled her public tyranny. Her testimony humanized Karen's downfall and underscored the need for empathy even when dismantling abuse. To celebrate the new charter, neighbors organized a lakeside community picnic. Long folding tables were draped with gingham cloths under oak canopies. Children built sandcastle silhouettes, each displaying a miniature wooden board reading, "My home, my rights." I brought a projector to display the security footage of Karen's entrance. Only this time it played alongside clips of neighbors speaking out, forging bonds. The footage's context had shifted from shocking evidence to a teaching tool, reminding us all that vigilance preserves freedom. An unexpected honor came when the local bar association invited me to address law students on the ethics of private governance. I spoke of the lake house incident as a cautionary tale. How entitlement, unchecked, erodes community. How transparency and legal recourse restore it. Students peppered me with questions on balancing HOA bylaws with constitutional rights, and I stressed that true democracy thrives in everyday interactions, from courtesy visits to open forums. Back at my lake house, life resumed its gentle cadence. Fishing lines cast at dawn, paddleboards carving reflections at sunset, and the faint echo of rattling judges' gavels replaced by loons' calls. The security system remained, its recordings now a symbol not of paranoia but of empowerment, knowledge lighting the path away from fear. On a warm summer night, I hosted a small gathering on the dock under stringed lanterns, toasting to neighbors past and present. My final reflection to the man to readers everywhere echoed in the night air. When the line between authority and oppression blurs, let truth be the boundary. Did public exposure of HOA officers' misuse of power strengthen our community, or risk spectacle over substance? Share your judgment on right and wrong below. As the lanterns swayed and laughter mingled with gentle waves, I knew our story, rooted in respect, defended by law, uplifted by empathy, would ripple beyond our lake shore, guiding others to guard their homes and hearts alike.